This was recorded on my car. We're recording all the way around there.
Good morning, everybody. This is Billy and Ryan from B&B, and we're here to do a segment explaining the things. No, I don't think so. You go ahead. I thought I had it.
Oh, I'll cut that at some point.
Right, I know.
Okay. So, me and Billy are back again with another update on the B&B Lawn Mowing Company that Billy just started on May 22nd. So we are, a month and a half into the business or so, been out in the field cutting grass for a little over 4 weeks, and we're just kind of documenting what's going on with the business so you guys can get like a realistic expectation of what would happen if you do these things in your business. There's a lot of things going on. We're doing a lot of things all at once. We're doing it fast. We had, some money available to make necessary purchases and stuff like that. So what we thought we'd talk about in this video is just kind of who does what in the company and what their roles are and what the plan is moving forward, just kind of as a team, because I really think that doing it as a team effort, whether they're like in-house, like employees and stuff like that, or outsourcing, delegating different tasks like payroll to a payroll company, your accounting to an accounting firm, different things like that. Obviously, you delegate insurance to an insurance company, but we'll just kind of go over how everything is shook out and what the plan is moving forward, and hopefully it turns into a decent video for you guys.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so Billy, why don't you start off with, who's actually doing the work, who's maintaining the equipment, who's doing all that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, starting with equipment stuff like that, I think it's important that your crew leader, which is me right now, being the only crew leader, my employee Brandon will be the next one because we've been together for a couple years now where he's ready to go out on his own. So he's just as good at taking care of the equipment as me. I think it's important that it can't just be you or just one person doing it.
Right.
The person in charge of the truck and the person in charge of the crew should be able to change oil. You should be able to change the blades, sharpen the blades. And then if there's simple problems with tires or something like that, he should be able to deal with that too. So both Brandon and I have been, kind of tag teaming the maintenance thus far. But when we do branch off into 2 trucks, he'll be in charge of his and I'll be in charge of mine.
Gotcha.
So,
I love that approach. I think it's really nice to have kind of like a check and balance system going on, where maybe it's the crew leader or whoever the head of that truck, whoever's in charge of that, like it's their responsibility. But I think it's really nice to have whoever else is in the truck. Maybe it's a helper, maybe it's a crew leader in training, whoever it is. If they just have some kind of an idea of what's going on, they could be like, "Hey man, didn't you forget to put the fresh oil back in after that oil change?" You know what I'm saying? Like something just super drastic, just a bonehead mistakes happen in the industry. A lot of times you're doing the repair stuff, maintenance stuff before you go out or after you go out. So either way, before you go out, maybe you're in a hurry to get out there and start making your money for the day. If you're trying to do it let's just knock this out so we don't have to do it in the morning. You're tired from working all day. So mistakes happen. So I think it's just really nice if everyone kind of has a general idea of what should be getting done.
for sure, repetition is perfect for training, but it also can make you kind of forget if you've done it so much that you just do it quick, and then you might have forgot one little step. So you should always be training your employee while you're doing that stuff for them because they'll start catching stuff like that and they'll pick up on it. So they should be present with you and helping whilst doing the maintenance.
Right, and that brings me to something it is a really good idea to document what you expect to be done, what needs to be done. I recommend taking the manuals that you get with the equipment and then forming a maintenance schedule from it and a checklist. So you go down the checklist. So I have a bunch of checklists available on Lawn-Crack's website. They're free. You just download them. I have a mowing truck checklist and a landscape truck checklist, a year-end checklist. I forget exactly all of them that I have on there, but making this
you got a
video,
bunch of them.
we
Yeah.
actually need to make more.
Right.
We need to make more of those, and then like so.
Or
So
like use those templates and like kind of gear them more towards what we got going on now. Because
Yeah.
there's some things that come on the list and some things that go off it. We don't use box trucks, you know, so it's like we
Right.
have a trailer now, so there's a little more taking things on and off. But besides that,
yep.
you know, the list is almost already there. So
But that it's one of the first the key things you're going to need to do if you really want to turn your job, if you will, of being a lawn care business owner into a business where you can, you know, hire and train employees. You're going to want to hand them something that, you know, this is what you reference back to,
Right.
instead of come ask me every time. Because, you know, I see a lot of businesses that like start growing and hiring people, but then there's just a bottleneck where the owner of the company is still like having to double check everything and go redo things and stuff like this. So,
yeah, you can't be everywhere at once. So you definitely, that's a good point.
right. So, Billy's like in charge. Remember, this is Billy's company, so Billy's in charge of essentially everything.
I have a lot of help, and I'm very thankful for that.
But yes, he does have help. So, like you said, Brandon, you know, is very familiar with what needs to happen as far as maintaining the equipment. And Billy and Brandon, we need to get Brandon on the show so you guys can meet Brandon. And we will do that like this upcoming week. We'll definitely get some footage with Amy and Brandon is kind of the team. So we'll go into that in a second. But Billy and Brandon do all of the work, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, we do all the physical work. I mean,
Yes, that's what I meant. All of the labor
For sure.
is getting done.
Yeah.
So-
And right now, I mean, we can still do more too. So we're at a good point right now.
Yes.
Because we want more work and we still have time to do it.
Yeah, basically, if it can make you sweat, Billy and Brandon are doing it.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of like, you know, obviously, I was like, love the lawn care landscaping industry, so of course I would like to start another business, but I've already been there and done that, and I've gone down the road, and I see the ups and downs and the pitfalls and the limitations and everything that it can bring you. Like, I think it's an awesome business to be in, and that's why I love having the opportunity to be a part of this. But I didn't want to, at this point in my life, to like actually get back out there in the truck and have to mow grass, and I had the whole non-compete thing going on, which we're effectively thinking is done,
Non-existent
because
now.
there's no, you know, the company that I had to not compete with is out of business,
Yeah,
so we can't compete. So I'm still like not like gonna go hop in the truck next week and start cutting grass.
Right.
So that's basically Billy and Brandon are doing everything from putting out the leave behinds we have, the
Yeah.
postcards. They're doing the actual work as far as mowing the grass and doing that stuff. If a property needs to be visited for a quote,
House call.
Billy's running out to take a look at it. If for whatever reason we can't use the area calculator and snap off that square footage.
Which is awesome, by the way. That saves so much time.
Yes,
I love that.
it really is, guys. I had my developers make the area calculator that's on Longtrack's website, because it has features that I couldn't find on any other area calculator when I use them every day in my lawn care business. But anything that can be quoted based off square foot, I highly recommend that you get them the quote while they're either on the phone, right after they email you or text you or whatever. Speed to quote is just a huge thing. You know, if you're all concerned, well, what if it had a small gate or a big hill or it was bigger than I thought, this or that? Like, if the client is a reasonable person, they will understand. I recommend you honor whatever price you gave them for that first cut, and then if it needs to be adjusted to be a fair price to both parties, present that to them in a professional manner.
Right.
And it should go over fine, or just, you know, bite the bullet and make a little less money, or, you know, maybe didn't make any money because you severely underpriced it, and then just cut ties with that customer. But you ended the relationship on good terms.
Yeah, you don't want to upset nobody, and you don't really want to lose possible work, because you never know what they might have in the future and things like
Right.
that. So it's not, you know, if you do misquote somebody, they tend to be pretty understanding, but you're not going to get all of it the first year. You want to pretty much leave it alone for as long as you can. And then maybe at the beginning of next year or something like that, you can tell them there's been a small increase or something. That's better to do it that way than to just be like, oh, we got to do this for more. Well, you should have came out here and looked at it before you quoted it if you weren't sure.
Right.
Which, back to the area calculator, is also on B&B's website. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right there for you, so.
Yeah, well, I just linked to the one on Lawncrack's site.
Yeah.
But what I did is we display pricing on the B&B Lawn Mowing website so people can have some kind of idea.
And acreage and everything. It's nice.
Yes, I got the aerial view so they can see like what this dollar amount of a $45 cut is going to look like this if you want to snap it off yourself using the area calculator. And then I have like a street view, and I'm trying to get something from the back so people can have an idea like that's my lawn size. I'm looking at $45 if I contact them, because that's probably the number one thing people want to know when they visit your website is what's the cost going to be. So we tell them because
there's no reason to make it a secret.
There's no secret. We know there's lowball companies out there cutting grass for much less than they should. We know there's some companies out there gouging people, and we just need to charge what we need to charge to be a profitable, honest business.
Well, you can definitely find a middle ground between those two, because there's cost, and then there's how well the job's done.
Yes.
So if you show the difference, you're not gouging, you're just asking them to pay for the quality that you're giving them. And a good customer, the best customers, understand and respect that, and then they'll be lifetime customers.
Yep. Okay, so trying to stay on topic in the video here.
Yep. There we
Let's
go.
get back to who's doing what. Okay, so Amy is answering the phone, and she takes a lot of text messages because the website is text enabled. Like you can click the text on the website. It's always pinned at the bottom of the mobile website. So, and Amy absolutely loves that. I was talking to her about that the other day, that
she'd rather have a text.
Yeah, she'd rather have a text. And I think a lot of lawn care business owners would too, especially if you're out in the field. Instead of like missing that call, you had a text, which makes a lot more sense when you text them back in 10 minutes because you're finishing mowing the lawn you were mowing or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, because if you miss a call, you miss the call. You might not, I mean, they might already be calling someone else.
Right.
But if they text you, you have a few minutes to at least notice that.
Yep.
And then so it definitely does work a little bit better.
For sure. So she fields all of the incoming texts and calls. So she does all the customer service. She does a lot of quoting, and she handles any potential issues that would arise that come in through a text or a phone call. And then she hops on service autopilot a little bit, and she'll add new customers, she'll make small changes and stuff like that. I don't think she's super duper comfortable in service autopilot, and honestly I don't really want her spending a lot of time getting to know it or anything like that. So what I'm doing is I'm doing basically the marketing.
All the marketing, yeah.
So that's just what I freaking love doing right now, is marketing businesses. I always say, like, if I could just like bring you the clients and I have to do the work, that'd be like the best thing ever. So now I get to do it, and it's great.
Then I came knocking. First off, let me say something about Amy. I gotta say, having a competent and always there person answering the phone has been extremely instrumental, and I can't say how lucky I am, or we are, to have her do that for us.
I guess especially me.
So either way, it's important that, when you're cutting grass, it's hard to keep that cool-headed mind when you're cutting grass and talking to somebody and all this. So it's really nice to have somebody that's not cutting grass and not out in the hot heat answering the phone, and
Yeah.
I just want to say that I think that's been one of the smartest things we've done so far is.
And I think, even though it's a lawn care business, landscaping, type business, like, I think people would rather talk to a female voice on the other end of that phone. I don't know.
I
you know,
mean,
it's a toss up.
customer
It
service
doesn't
is
really
customer
matter.
service,
Yeah,
but-
it really doesn't freaking matter. But I think if you like got to pick, you're like, do I want a dude answering the phone or do I want a chick? You're like, I'd want a chick answering the phone. That's me. That's me. I don't know.
I don't
We
think
need
it
to run
matters. I
we need to run a
think
test study on this.
for me, my opinion would be you don't want a dude that works outside and cuts grass and is kind of coarse. You don't want a chick that's kind of coarse and works outside and cuts grass answering the phone either.
True.
So
true.
it's just a
Yes.
customer service aspect of it, and you find
Yeah.
someone like that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right.
She's always like, you know, she's usually in a good mood. I've rarely seen her in a bad mood ever, but she'll always present herself. Her tone of voice will be like, "I'm in a good mood. Thanks for calling."
We want your business. That's,
Yes.
you know.
And Amy knows Billy and myself very well. She knows Brandon. She knows what the company does. She knows everything about the company, right? She knows where we work, what we do, what we don't do. And she's very confident telling somebody, like, if you go with us, we're going to do a good job. We're going to show up. We're going to answer the phone. We're going to return a text message. We're going to return an email. We're going to fix any problems, you know. So that makes her job easier.
Yeah.
Actually, knowing that the get the stuff done part of the business, everyone doing those roles is taking care of business and doing those things.
Well, she can make promises that she knows will
Yes.
will be kept. You know,
Yeah.
if she tells somebody, like say someone calls and they're in my area for like a Tuesday, but it's already Thursday, and their grass has got to be cut. You know, like I'm gonna have to run from a different area all the way out to them. She usually knows if I'm capable of doing that day or not, so she can tell them I'll be there. Which is great because then you get there and make them happy, and catching the yard up is kind of imperative for the next time because it's gonna look better and better the more you do it.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend if you have the ability to do something like Billy just described, like, you know, you're on the west side, somebody calls in from the east side, and it sounds like you just have that gut feeling, like if I go out there and, you know, make this long grass short and make it look good today, because they're kind of freaking out, like they're going to be like a lifetime customer after that. So it may be willing to, you know, it may be beneficial
Drive.
to drive and, you know, a
Drive
half hour
there.
one way,
Yeah.
half hour one way back. And, you know, obviously you didn't make any money doing that first service, but then look at the potential lifetime value of that customer when they stick with you for the next 4 years and they pay you $1,300 a season.
Right. And
That's how you do it.
and even in just in a routing, like for routing, like if you're gonna put them on Tuesday and their grass hasn't been cut for 2 weeks because their last company left or something,
Right.
you know what I mean? It just kind of, it's quicker. Like you want to make their yard look as good as you can, as fast as you can. And if it's really
Yes.
tall, that's hard the first time. So it's kind of nice to get there first, cut it down, wait like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
They're still only being charged once for each week. You know what I mean? So their bill's not going up or anything like that.
Right.
It's just you cut it as soon as you could instead of waiting a whole another 5 days, and it would have been worse. So you might not even be able to keep that customer if you show up that late and cut it when it's that tall and make it not look good. You might as well be on your
True.
second cut as fast as possible.
Yep. Okay,
Okay,
so
back to what you do. Let's talk
okay,
about
yeah.
the marketing.
Let's try to wrap up what I do. So I'm doing the marketing. I believe I spoke about some of the stuff that I'm doing in the other video, so I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on it. But obviously the website, we're still getting screwed by Google. I'm in shock and kind of pissed about it at this point. We're doing Google ads. We're being just active organic posting on Facebook, which I think we slacked off last week, which we need to get on that.
Well,
we need to delegate that to somebody.
When you made the video the other day, I was kind of hoping we could get that on there
Right.
as quick as possible. So
Yeah, we have a hilarious text message from a customer that moved to the area
Oh,
that
yeah.
we need to post to Facebook. She's like, I was getting worried nobody in northern Kentucky knew how to cut grass.
We're the third
Classic.
people.
We have to
third
put that out
people
there.
that cut our grass, and she was like, "Thank you so much."
Well, that's so funny. Okay, so I'm doing the marketing stuff. We have the leave behinds. I need to do a couple more things. We got these shirts.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we love.
I
I love them. I think they look great.
I really do like them too. This is the first time I wore
They're
it.
slick.
It feels good. I like it.
Great
That's
material.
good. Okay. So I think I need to get business cards, even though I think they're just freaking dead. They're so old and outdated. But I do think business cards would be appropriate, especially if you get into networking groups.
Stuff, yeah.
So we're talking about getting Billy into a networking group. I should probably get in one too. Well, actually, I might go do that one. My buddy Jim Krusty's networking group, because it's free.
Yeah.
You could represent B&B. I'll go represent Optimized or GMB Doc or whatever.
That'd be cool.
And then we'll do that.
Kind of like a soft opening for me, so I can
Yeah.
find out what they're all about.
And that's a really good group. I know a lot of the people in the group. I know it'd be a good fit for both of our companies. So that'd be great. Okay, so on top of the marketing stuff, I've basically done all of the businessy business, behind the scenes business stuff.
Payroll.
Yeah. So payroll's still not set up.
CPA.
Yeah. Talking to the CPA about it, it's fine. It's under control. I do have QuickBooks set up. I'm actually going to do the bookkeeping myself because that's something that I want to do at this point of my life, is really get a really good grasp on the numbers of this business and my different businesses. I'm actually putting my personal finances into the QuickBooks to see just how much money I'm blowing on tobacco and alcohol, and it's freaking disgusting.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe it's not a good idea. But so formed the LLC, got the EIN number, you gotta do that before. Billy actually set up the bank account.
That you need the number for. Yeah.
Yep, we both called around, tracked down mowers, lined up the financing for the mowers.
Hey buddy.
What's up, buddy? Come on.
Yeah, come on, what do you got?
Sorry.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I have this for Vacation Bible School.
Oh, okay.
Would you like it?
See it. Thanks. I'll give this to my mama, she'll like it.
Okay, thank
Thanks
you.
buddy, you have a good day. See ya.
Yeah, we got the business entity formed. Still actually setting up the tax accounts. Kentucky has a KY one-stop center is what they call it.
Yeah.
It's freaking like glitching or broken or something. So I'm just gonna have the CPA finish that up. What else? Credit card processing. Got that squared away.
Oh yeah, all the payment stuff. That's the big one that we just got done. So now we have it to where we're basically like a net zero business now, except for a few of our old customers, because we trust and they like paper invoices and stuff. But
I
we have
believe
it.
there's 4 that are on monthly.
Yeah.
So out of all the customers so far, 4 get an invoice at the end of the month, which they can pay by check or credit card, and then everyone else is either already set up on the auto bill cycle or they're going to be. But anybody that is on the monthly have like already proven to us that they're going to pay.
We've been cutting their grass for a few years, or they've already at least paid their first couple of bills, and we know that they're legitimate.
So I don't know if I just briefly mentioned Service Autopilot, but got Service Autopilot back, got it set up, and have, I believe, kind of trained you enough. Like, I don't think I've trained them enough, nearly at all, but enough to like tweak the schedule a little bit yourself.
Oh yeah,
enter
that's
somebody,
fine. When it comes to Service
payments.
Autopilot, it's actually it's fairly intuitive. Like once
It really is.
Yeah, like you watch the videos and stuff, and if you're lucky enough to have someone like you who's used the system extensively, you can ask a few questions. It really takes off from there. Now there's a few things on there that are kind of just advanced, like with the payment and stuff like that. So I like that you're there to take care of that for the time being. You know what I mean? Just because, like I've heard you say plenty of times, the last thing you want to do is mess up someone's bill. You don't want to charge them wrong. You don't want to send them someone else's bill on accident. You don't want none of that to ever happen.
Right.
So
fail to enter a payment. Say, hey, you owe us this money when they've already paid you that money.
Right.
Like, those are the things that piss people off really freaking fast.
Or super simple, like one of my oldest customers, Mike Whitaker.
Yep.
Yeah, he. I quoted him at $42.40, and I forgot to tell the office, Amy, and she put him at like our minimal around like $45.
Yeah.
And he already gave me a check for like 6 cuts, so he didn't have to worry about it. But at the same time, we sent him an invoice for like a couple of dollars more. So he just He emailed us. There was no problem. He's a great, understanding customer. But that's the kind of stuff that would really upset someone who just hired you. You know what I mean? That doesn't already know you and things like that.
Yeah, that couldn't have happened to a better customer. Because I mean, he's just a super nice guy, just reasonable, level-headed human being, like type of person you want to work for. So it was a non-issue, is what it was. He said, "Hey, I thought my price was different." I said, "Hey, let me get with Billy and see what's going on." And it was just a Billy basically told him, we'll keep whatever price you were paying before, and then when it got entered into the system, it got entered in at $5 higher. So
easy mistake to make.
It was a couple dollars difference. It wasn't the end of the world either way. I think if we told him, "Hey, man, we really need that extra $5 a cut,"
he would have been like, "Okay,
okay, fine." But that's not what happened. So we corrected it in the system. It's all good, and we've completely moved past it at this point.
Yeah, it was a non-issue when he sent the message, but still, like you said, it couldn't have happened to a better one. So, like, per se, that would have been the first time I cut someone's yard and I told them an amount, and then we charged them $2 or $3 more. Like, that kind of thing perturbs people and is probably going to not get you called back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so to wrap this video up, a lot of times I think business gets over complicated when it doesn't have to. So let's I just want to break down real quick what exactly is happening. We basically, Billy and Brandon are doing the work.
We're in the truck.
And keeping the equipment in operating condition. That's number one, their job, right? We have to attract new clients to the business because we're a growing business. So you always need to be attracting new clients, so we're marketing. And then we're a business, so we're taking in money, we're routing, we're scheduling jobs, we're communicating with customers. So we're handling the back end business operations and communicating with our customers. And that's essentially it. I mean, we really simplified that down into
smashed it into the simplest thing
ever. Customers, go do the work, keep your stuff in good condition. Answer the phone, route, schedule, take payment, pay bills.
Yeah, see,
do it on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your LLC and all these.
And the really important thing for me, I think the biggest one there, because if you're gonna start a mowing business, you probably know how to mow or should know how to mow already.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, so that's a normal thing. But when it comes to payment, that can be very confusing for a new business owner. And
it really can.
And it can broadside you when maybe you trust the wrong person or you mess up their bill so they don't pay it on time or something like that. That can really mess you up. So I think getting something like Service Autopilot or having someone to help you with that is imperative, because you can't be worrying about that when you're on someone's lawn trying to make the grass look good. You need that to be working itself. So if you have something, if you can move to automate it, do that so that
fast as possible.
Right, as fast as possible, and before people get used to being, having to pay their bill at the end of the month or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's just a good precedent to set.
And then I'm trying to keep the video somewhat short, but then I also want it to be comprehensive, and we just kind of wing these. So
the first one, it's early.
Something kind of important I think that should be mentioned is we set up insurance, business insurance, commercial policy on the truck. The trailer's covered, the equipment's covered. There's a general liability thing, it's probably $1 million. I don't exactly remember. And then workers' comp, because we have an employee, a real employee, Brandon. So he is, we had to have the workers' comp because of that. And then also another thing I've done is put some money into the business. We bought the trailer.
Yeah, we took a loan from this guy.
Bought all this stuff. I put money into the bank account to make payroll and stuff as we're generating money. I honestly think that the business is almost to a break-even point.
We're right there. I see it.
So
on our 2 week long week, on our big week,
right?
It makes sense. So we need 5 or 6 more, and then it's going to start tipping.
Right. So basically, I think I haven't added it up, and I'm meeting with the CPA next week to really square everything away and just make sure everything's done right from the get-go. But right around $7,000 is how much money I've put of mine into the business thus far.
Oh, that's less than I thought. That's
Right.
good.
So I got 7K into it, and so 6 weeks after the LLC was formed, it's generating enough revenue to basically cover all the costs and pay the employees. So now we need to get to the point where we're profitable, so I can get my money back. Because usually when I invest in small businesses, I don't get my money back.
Yeah, usually.
So that's another thing I'll be doing next week is taking people to court that haven't paid me my money.
You should do a video about all the businesses you've started and stopped.
Yeah, really. Every business I start does not work out.
Right.
But yeah, failing's part of getting better, learning,
You
everything.
fail, try again.
Yes. Okay, so hopefully we didn't ramble
Oh, we ran
too much.
but it's probably gonna work out. And until next time, from all of us here at B&B, what do we do, Ryan?
We're gonna keep making money.
Keep making money.
Do the same.